Okay. Well, if you've been here before, you know that we have a segment here where we like to give an opinion about something. And if you've ever read any fanboy post on any message board anywhere, you understand why we call this segment, But Let's Face It. Yeah! Okay, so WonderCon just wrapped up this past weekend. People go? Yeah? WonderCon. And I was only there for 2 days, and on Saturday, I had to give my badge back to someone that I borrowed it from. And she was staying in a hotel across the way, and she says, I'm going to have some people over at the end of the day. You can drop it off then. So I go there, and as I'm going there, I get a bunch of texts from other people at WonderCon saying that they were going to meet at the bar at the hotel lobby where I'm going to get the badge. And so I went to both of these two locations, the hotel room and the bar lobby, both of which were packed. Now, I don't know how long this phenomenon has been going on, nor how widespread it has become. But let's face it, geeks have learned how to party. I'm serious. I couldn't believe it. It was stunning. I saw these two geeks, and they were talking to this female cosplayer who was saying something like, oh, I really like the Avengers. Now, geek number one just leans back and goes, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. And then geek number two puts his arm around geek number one and says, you know, Kevin here has one of the best Avengers comic book collections going. Which floored me, because it's just like, hold on a second. Geek number one had an opening to boast about his Avengers comic book collection, didn't take it, and then geek number two winged for him? What bizarro universe have we arrived in? 10 years ago, the quality of this guy's Avengers comic book collection would have been the first thing out of his mouth to every single person he met, and geek number two would have been constantly jealous of it and trying to belittle it in front of him. A brand new strain of geek virus has become airborne, my friends, and it is completely resistant to Asperger's. Where are these geeks coming from? To quote Bishop and Aliens, that must be something we haven't seen yet. It's like there's some sort of queen geek that has been engineered in a laboratory and is spitting out super nerds from a semi-translucent egg sac. Doctor Who! And a gin and tonic for the lady. At these parties, I encountered something I never thought I would at a comic book convention. The smell of cologne. Yes! And high karate remains a wonderful scent. Everyone there might not have been a physical specimen, but it was a lobby full of clean geeks, which, like X-Men 94, is all new and all different. All of the geek stereotypes were noticeably absent. The guy staring at his own shoes, talking about plot holes and Contest of Champions to nobody. The guy showing off pics of his Battle and Laser Beast collection unsolicited. The guy who comes up to you out of nowhere and says, you know, Megatron isn't a mutant. Okay, now here's something else that I have to mention. At the party in the lobby, there was a recognizable porn star. Now, I mention this for two reasons. One, geeks are now partying with porn stars. And two, the geeks were shockingly respectful. I would only have been so surprised if the event turned into some Beavis and Butthead snickering fest filled with staring and whispering. Well, I'm certain I was far from the only person to recognize her. Everyone there treated her like anyone else and played it cool. No one was acting like that guy who went to school with Roller Girl and Boogie Nights. Well played, my people. We've gotten to a place where geeks have both more to prove and less to prove. They've become less vocal about boasting that the holes in their Miracle Man collection have been filled, and more vocal about, well, being vocal and actually talking to people. There's this relatively new awareness that being able to interact with others, geeks and non-geeks alike, and have them not make fun of you as soon as you leave is kind of important. And it's just as significant for geek PR as slamming the Big Bang Theory. Because let's face it, geeks can't continue to evolve if we can't breed.